Welcome back. This is the Kenyan High Schooler. Today we are looking at from KCC to Mechanical Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering. And let's get started. As always, we start by asking ourselves a few questions. Question number one: what is mechanical engineering as a career? And am I ready for it? What are the admission requirements to study this career in Kenya? What are the costs and where can I actually enroll in this particular country? What are the stages and duration of pursuing this degree? And finally, what career opportunities and specialties can one explore in this field? Let's get into it. So, what is mechanical engineering as a career? What am I really getting into? What really do I love? Do I even know what it is? This mechanical engineering focuses on designing, building, and maintaining machines and systems. Everything from engines and robotics to energy systems and manufacturing. Okay. So, what do I expect? I expect to study core subjects. Core subjects include mechanics. When we talk about mechanics, we mean study of motion and forces on objects. Okay. Thermodynamics, which is the study of energy, heat, and how they interact with matter. We also study fluid dynamics, which is the study of how liquids and gases flow. We also study material science, which is the study of materials properties and how they behave under different conditions. Okay. Let's go to practical work. You also do practical work in this course, which is designing motors, um, and then this designing models basically is creating devices that convert energy into motion, okay, or testing mechanical problems, which is checking how machines work under different conditions. You also need computer skills like the CAD software, which you use to create 3D models and to learn simulations with them. Then you will also require math and physics, very very important, whereby we shall have heavy reliance on calculus and algebra, because math tools will be important to solve problems involving motion, force, or even changes. And for the physics, the laws of nature that explain how things move and interact are very, very key in this particular course. You also need a team project whereby often you work in teams on real world mechanical problems, because you have to solve these challenges engineers face in the industries. Good. Let us debunk some myths. Mechanical engineers only work with cars. That is false. The reality is that they work in many industries, including aerospace, healthcare, specifically in prosthetics and energy. Okay, then it's all hands-on work. That's what people think, that when I become a mechanical engineer, I will only be dealing with the practical bit of it. The reality is that it's a mix of hands-on projects and even theoretical problem solving. So don't be surprised when you find yourself sitting in an office doing some stuff here and there. So I'm now in love with mechanical engineering. What next? What are the admission requirements? They are as follows. What we call a direct entry. And for you to have a direct entry, you need a minimum KCC grade of at least a B plus in the KCC. Okay. However, we should say that competition is real. Hence, we advise you to score highly, because what will chase you out or what will make you not be selected to pursue this course in a particular university is going to be because of the competition and not mainly the grade at the end of the day. Because even as a C plus, you might find yourself that the rules might accord you an opportunity to study, but the competition might not. So KUPS will calculate your points using raw marks. Okay, these raw marks basically means that I've given this example more than once in other videos. Be sure to watch those other videos, and please, if you've not yet subscribed, hit that subscription button so that we continue to impact the community. So KUPS will calculate your points using raw marks to mean that if two people have airplanes, one of them has an airplane of 85 and another one an airplane of 100, it means that their cut of points will be different based on the raw marks. Unfortunately, it's only KUPS and neck that can be able to get or can be able to know your raw marks. You will not be able to get them after that KCC. So work hard, because those raw marks will actually mean a lot, not only the grade. So the overall grade again is key. Is it an A of 84, an A of 83? Is it an A minus of 80 or 76 or whatever it is? Then we have cluster subjects. Okay. Cluster subjects are subjects that have been set aside by a certain regulatory body, maybe in this case the Engineers Board of Kenya, to actually give subjects that are mandatory. They are key, because without which then you don't even have the basis of this particular degree. So for you to be able to do mechanical engineering, you need mathematics, which is mandatory. You have to have it. Of course, I know everyone does mathematics. Physics is also mandatory. So if you have not done physics, you cannot do mechanical engineering in this country. Okay, if you have not scored a B plus or higher, then your chances are very slim to actually do this course. Chemistry or any physical science is also mandatory, and then any other technical subject or an English is also required. So these four subjects will be calculated using a formula that only Coops actually has gets to, and I've said because they use raw marks, you cannot be able to calculate yourself because you don't have the raw marks. So only Coops can be able to give you your exact cutoff points. So that's how they will calculate using this cluster subject and using your overall grade together with your raw marks to give you a cutoff point. This is what will tell you, you know what, you are above the cut line, so you can be able to actually pursue this course in a certain university. If you are competitive enough, you'll find yourself in universities like University of Nairobi and so on and so forth. If you're not competitive, then again, your chances of such high-end universities get reducing. But again, at the end of the day, it's the degree and not really the university. Of course, I know that is debatable, but it's a fact. So, what are other alternative pathways? You can actually have your degree in mechanical engineering after having a diploma holders, whereby you have a diploma in mechanical engineering or a related field from a recognized institution with a credit or distinction. Okay? Or you might be a degree holder from another field. You can be able actually to pursue these through bridging courses or as a second degree. For those who are watching and they are foreigners, you must meet equivalent qualifications in your previous high school systems, whereby now you have to obtain a certificate of equivalency from NEC because you have to, like upgrade or translate those points to our system here in Kenya. Then you have to show proficiency in English, and we advise that you apply directly to university as early as you can. So after I've made these admission requirements, what next? Where will you study mechanical engineering? We have two threads here: public universities and private universities. Public universities are so many: University of Nairobi, Moi, Kenyatta University, Egerton, Jomo Kenyatta, Maseno, University of Eldoret, Took, Masinde Muliro, Dedan Kimathi, and so many others that cannot be able to fit here. Private universities have Mount Kenya, Kwea, Multimedia, and so forth and so on. So many other universities that offer this mechanical engineering, but these are basically the most known out here. So you can be able to pursue through these particular universities. There are two ways that you can actually be able to do that: through groups, okay, or through self-sponsorship. So through groups is when you are competitive enough and the government has actually seen it possible to um, you know be able to pay for your fees or to give you a sponsorship or a scholarship, the government scholarship. Then we have the self-sponsored, whereby it is for the locals who have not able to get through groups, or the foreigners. But let's get a little bit of this into perspective, okay? So how does the sponsorship look like? We said we have the government sponsorship, and it's quota per university, meaning that each public university has a limited number of government sponsor slots, usually allocated by COOPs. Okay, and the number will vary yearly based on national need and funding. For instance, the University of Nairobi may admit 100 to 150 government sponsored students, while small universities may admit 50 to 100. So if we have 200 students, let's say we have 250 students who have applied to study in UON mechanical engineering, and out of the 250, only 150 are required. And we have people with A planes there, we have people with A minuses there, we have people with B pluses there, and they have a stronger cluster points. Then they will be picked, unlike someone maybe who has a B plane. Okay, so that's why we are saying that that's how competitive these things are. You can be able to see there are very few slots, and it is even worse in the smaller universities because again they take a very smaller number. So this is what now will push people to be self-sponsored students. And in the era we are living today, private universities don't actually have good students in terms of government sponsorship. They will only admit self-sponsored students. So what really happens with self-sponsored? You will be fully funded by your parent, guardian, or any other financial institution as you agree with them. Okay. You have to apply directly to the university, although sometimes COOPS agrees you apply through them, but again, there's no much difference because you'll be paying the fees in full. We advise that you apply early because some of these universities, like University of Nairobi, actually closes application quite early because of the limited slots and the competition that is there. So apply early, in as much as you have faith in COOPS or whatever you have in COOPS, please do apply early, even as a self-sponsored student, not just to ensure that you don't miss any chances. Let's look at the costs. So, costs as of 2024 for the locals is usually between 150,000 to 600,000. These are tuition fees. Of course, we have housing and other stuff here and there. It keeps on varies. This is something that I keep on saying. Not better that you have to confirm from the websites. This is a public information. You can always get it, but this is just a rough estimate, and most universities fall within this range. Okay. Good. So I have fallen in love with mechanical engineering. I have met the admission requirements. I have now been sponsored. I'm now in school. So what happens next? What is the duration of this degree? How long will I be in the university? So the standard duration is actually 5 years. Okay. And we have a breakdown here whereby we have the core courses. What will you be studying? You'll be studying thermodynamics in your first years, whereby you will study heat, energy, and the conversion between them. You will study fluid mechanics, which is the study of how fluids behave and interact with forces. You will study material science, which is a study of material properties and how they can be used in engineering and manufacturing processes, methods used to produce goods, including machining, welding, and molding. Okay. You also do electives whereby you talk about courses in robotics. You can be able to select which you want to specialize in. So courses in robotics, whereby is the study and creation of robots that can perform tasks automatically. You can also do automotive engineering, which is engineering focused on designing and developing vehicles like cars and trucks. You also need renewable energy, whereby energy sources that are replenished naturally, such as solar and wind power, or industrial automation, which is using technology to control and automate industrial processes with minimal human intervention. Okay, then we have a final year project, which is a capstone project. This is basically a final year project where students will solve real world engineering problems. So we have industrial attachment, which is mandatory industrial training after the third and the fourth years, lasting at least 12 weeks or so. So this is the breakdown in the 5 years you will be in campus. Okay. So what's the graduation timeline? Students will typically start the program in the September of the admission year. After 5 years, you will graduate in November or December of your final year, and you earn the title. Oh my goodness, this is a mistake. You will earn the title mechanical engineer. Okay, good. So how do I become a certified engineer? How will I become a certified engineer? Something of essence to note here. Once you get your degree, you are not a certified engineer. Even the completion. Once you graduate, you are a graduate engineer but not a certified engineer. So how do you become a certified engineer? And if you are not a certified engineer, you cannot do projects independently because no one can be able to give you that contract. No one can trust you. You have to be a certified engineer. So you have to earn a degree, that is graduate with a bachelor degrees in mechanical engineering from an this is the Engineers Board of Kenya accredited university. Okay, so those universities I've told you are all accredited by this board here, Engineers Board of Kenya. So then from there, after you earn your degree, which we have, that is the process we've been looking at. Now register with the Engineers Board of Kenya. That is, you apply for registration as a graduate engineer. You will submit academic credentials and proof of completion of an accredited program. From there, you'll gain work experience, whereby you'll complete at least 3 years of supervised work experience and a professional engineer. Then you will develop skills in practical mechanical engineering applications. This is where I usually say that we have a bit of not so good experience here because again we have like more than 100,000 graduate engineers out here who have not yet been certified simply because of the limited number of professional engineers who cannot take in the big number of the graduate engineers. I hope you've gotten that right. But anyway, it's something that can always be solved. We still have people who are becoming certified, and therefore it is possible for it. So from there, now you have to do a professional exam and registration. Sometimes it's an oral exam, but you will pass the EPK professional review exam, and then you will apply for registration as a professional engineer. So now the other one is certification, whereby you will receive a practicing license from EPK and you will join the Institution of Engineers of Kenya for networking and professional growth. And with that, now you are a certified engineer and you can do numerous tasks, numerous projects independently because you can be trusted, you have the certification. So, what next? After my degree, I now have my degree. What can I do with it? So, there is so much avenues you can actually do with it. Number one is what we call the industry employment. Okay, you can get the manufacturing sector where you will design. You'll be a design engineer, a production manager, or a maintenance engineer. You'll be in cement, textile, food processing, machinery production, etc. etc. You can say to go to the automotive sector, where you'll be dealing with vehicle design engineer, quality control engineer, research and development specialist. You deal with vehicle assembly plants, spare part manufacturing, automotive repair innovations, and so forth and so on. You can say to go to the energy sector, where you deal with energy systems engineer, turbine specialist, renewable energy engineer. You'll be in geothermal, hydroelectric, solar, wind power, all that. Or you decide to go to the oil and gas sector, where you'll have mechanical systems engineer, pipeline engineer, plant operator, oil refineries, exploration projects. There's so much you can do in this industry employment. Okay, you can set two specialized engineering fields, for instance, robotics and automation. You decide that you'll be designing and manufacturing robotic systems used in manufacturing and industrial processes. Or you go to the aerospace engineering, the opportunities in aircraft maintenance, design and manufacturing, and collaboration with global aerospace firms. You can set to go to biomedical engineering. You'll be designing medical devices, prosthetics, and the hospital equipments. You can also decide to specialize in the HAV system, which is the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Your role in designing and optimizing thermal systems for buildings and industrial facilities. You can decide to go to marine engineering, where you work on shipbuilding, offshore structures, or underwater vehicle design. Then from there, you can start to go to research, whereby you innovate new products or systems, and and you specialize in areas like 3D printing and so forth and so on. You can also decide to be a consultant. You go to consultancy. You'll be having services like plant design and optimization, energy efficient solutions, environmental compliance and sustainability, and so forth and so on. You can also go to project management. By now, you'll be leading large scale engineering projects in construction, energy, or manufacturing as a project manager or a site engineer or an operations manager. Good. And there's so many others. You can decide to go to business as an entrepreneur here, whereby you maintain services for industrial equipment. You can decide to go to academia and teaching. You decide to be a teacher. You are a lecturer in the university to teach students who are going to or are interested in studying mechanical engineering. Or you go on to pursue advanced degrees, a master's or a PhD, okay, and so forth and so on again. You can also decide to work for the government and the public service, whereby you work with the Kenya, you know, you work with Kenya Bureau of Standards, Kenya Power, or the Ministry of Energy, whereby you contribute the policy making, infrastructure development, or regulatory enforcement. Okay. You also decide to go global, whereby you will pursue certifications like the Chartered Engineer, institutions like the UK's Engineering Council, or you join international engineering firms or projects in oil and gas, automotive, or aerospace sectors. So as you can see, there is so much you can do with this degree out here, meaning that is a nice degree, is a nice degree, I can tell you for sure. Go for it. It's something that you will not regret. You just have to continue working hard, and of course, having a faith in the supernatural being that all will go well. And with that, we come to the very end of our video. Remember, mechanical engineering is an excellent career. Success in your endeavors. Don't forget to subscribe. Please do subscribe, because we want you to get this and more of our videos in the subsequent times that we upload them. See you next time, and have a good time.